Believing Bruce, be the best you. Biology doesn't lie. So there, ladies and gentlemen, it is Believing Bruce, the channel where we help you get inside your head and heart so you can think, feel and act that little bit better. Performance psychology, mental health, well-being, better self-narrative, all the stuff goes on in here and will be going on into 2020. Thanks very much for the love and support so far in 2019. I've only been around here a few months, but it's been going stratospheric. I'm still not sure why people are interested in what I've got to say, but there seems to be, some genuine love out there, and I'm very humbled by that. So if you like what I do, if you're interested in what I say, and if it's helping you, that's really why Believing Bruce is here, to take that information that I give to corporate clients all over the world and put it on a platform where people who haven't got access to corporate wellbeing programs or mental health support, some of the tools that I offer here, you can use on yourself or your friends and hopefully make the world a better place. That's what we're trying to do here at Believing Bruce, to help you be the best you. So on Saturday night, I was lucky enough to be, I feel like I'm a bit famous here, to be invited along as a member of the press pack to talk to a number of people at the Fame MMA UK Celebrity Cage Fighting event that was on at the Utilita Arena in Newcastle. So I thought I'll go along here, it looks like it could be entertaining. This setup was fantastic. I've been to boxing shows for years now, and this was by far, visually and audibly, I'm just pointing in case you don't know where your eyes and your ears are, the best setup I've ever seen. I was really, really surprised. Now, because I'm new to this new YouTube world, in fact it's almost like an alternate world. I love Harry Potter and stuff like this, so I imagine it's a bit like sort of Diagon Alley or Hogwarts, is that there's a lot of people who exist on YouTube who I don't know of yet. So I was doing my research on the fighters. So I started looking through the fighters who were there, and there was a few that I really liked the look of because they had a connection, they had a story about mental health or well-being, where they've come from adversity, where they've had to show some resilience to be the person that they are today. Now, one of these people was a guy called JOEL JMX.
Start clapping your hands now. The Migos.
So I'm hoping I'm getting those 3 letters right. Again, I'm not really with the YouTube homies at the moment, but I am trying to. A grander here from Newcastle, I'm hopefully getting my knowledge up to scratch. And now JOEL, so I went on JOEL's page, and JOEL, if I can remember correctly, he had a story pinned, I hope I'm using the right words here, to his YouTube homepage about, and part of the video was where he had come from, and it was around about mental health and well-being, and he's explaining his personal journey, which I found very authentic. I found it was very brave of him to offer, on a platform where you get positive comments but also not so positive comments. And there was a bit of the story that really resonated with me when he was a little bit slender, when he was a little bit younger, and he was in the school gym and he was trying some weights, obviously, trying to do things that he thought would better himself at the time or make him feel better. And some guy come along, like one of the popular guys, I think he said, took a video of JOEL trying to lift this bicep curl. I thought it was very humorous how he explained what we was doing with the bicep curl. I think it was like almost making love to the bicep curl or the dumbbell at the time. But this video then got sent round, and you can imagine, like, I put myself in that shoes. If you put yourself in those shoes, you can imagine it's going to be a very unhelpful emotional platform, an emotional environment where you're not going to be the best version of yourself. So I looked at this, I thought, I like this guy. He's come through something as traumatic. Now, that would be traumatic for anybody. Yeah, for a large percentage of the population, that would be traumatic. But then if you look at his journey, what he's done, I thought, this is interesting. Has an unintended consequence been of these situations that he's actually learned from motivation and fire in his belly? And is he taking that into the cage? So when I went along to that event on Saturday, and I thought JOEL JMX, Dapper Laughs has also got some history about mental health and the work that he's trying to do, and there was a few others that had an obvious connection with the work that I do around about think, feel and act. And remember, when it comes to mental health and well-being, think and feel and acting, it all comes down to how we think. How we think dictates our hormonal regulation. So how we look at the situation dictates how we feel. Put the thinking and feel together, that's where you get the behaviour from. But it starts right back here at the thinking part. The lens, the perspective that we look at that particular situation. And I went along on Saturday to try and get some footage. I was really interested from a psychological perspective. Remember, my background is performance psychology. Could I capture on camera the moment that I felt somebody quit? At that particular T-junction moment, when did somebody decide mentally to give up? And it was beautifully demonstrated here with JOEL JMX. Fought and made his opponent crumble. And now those are very powerful words, brother and sisters, I know. But I feel there's enough evidence here from an objective standpoint. Yeah, again, you could argue that it is subjective, but from an objective standpoint, there was enough cues from the body language to say Joel had broke the spirit of this gentleman. And that's what you've got to do within a fight. It's not just can you knock them out. Another punch, another tool in the toolbox that we've got is can you break their will. And I believe that the other chap he was fighting was the head of this famed MMA, the owner or the promoter from Poland. Wojtek Gola, I believe the guy's name was. And again, I'm not even English, I'm a Geordie, so I've definitely got that pronunciation incorrect. So what I want to do is just talk you through some parts of Joel's fight where I thought, and it's obvious that if you know what you're looking for, you can see some stuff that you think, that looks interesting. You know, does this guy want to fight? Is this guy interested? Has he seen Joel and he's just spirits crumbled? But what I'd like you to do is I'm going to show you the first part of this video. Now, Joel has already come into the cage here. Yeah, and he looks a big guy. He looks a big guy. He's definitely not as slender as he was in his youth. You know, big muscular guy. Actually got a really almost perfect build for MMA, if you will. Very muscular, very lean, very long limbs, what you can leverage that power from. But you'll notice that it's almost a bit like Conor McGregor. So Joel is, you know, on his haunches watching the guy come in. And what Joel does is very powerful. And what Joel does is exceedingly powerful, is that he keeps his eye on his opponent as he comes into the ring. Now again, from a humanistic point of view, from a self-preservation point of view, from an amygdala sort of response, fight or flight point of view, there is nothing more powerful and unnerving than somebody looking you in the eye, especially in this type of confrontation. And what I mean by that is next time you're walking down the street, just look around and see when you're looking at somebody, they may not be looking at you. But as soon as they turn around and make eye contact, you look away. There is nothing more intense than somebody looking directly in your eyes. And this is what Joel does. Although I was from behind him and I was right at ringside, very privileged position. It seemed as though Joel was looking. And what I found beautiful was as the opponent, and I'm getting carried away, I just love this type of stuff. Psychology is amazing, especially in these intense situations. Is as his opponent come around the ring, Joel just didn't follow, he moved his body. He moved his body to follow him around. And the guy come round, and if you notice from the video, the guy sort of glances at Joel, but then it's the head that goes down. He doesn't pretend that he hasn't saw him. He doesn't, you know, give it this. He looks up and then the head goes down. The drop of the head, ladies and gentlemen. The drop of the head is that insecurity. It's that self-doubt. That is why we drop our head. If somebody says, have you done this? And you have, you'll probably drop your head. Who's took this? You drop your head. If you feel threatened, you drop your head. As Mike Tyson used to say, the moment they flinch, I've got them. This is the moment where the guy flinched. Spiritually, mentally, physically, I think this was one of the key points. This was one of the KPIs, if you will, when JOEL JMX had, just by being there, by being physically present, had broke the will of his opponent. So again, from that point, yeah, Joel beautifully, I love it, yeah, I love Conor McGregor. He's down to, Joel, let me know, brother, is it from Conor McGregor? It would be great to know what's going on inside your head there. Now what we've got is the first round, Joel, and I can't put this any other way, he literally puts a beat down on the guy. So the guy's doing all right. Joel's definitely dominating the first round. The guy's putting some winging kicks in. And then it comes to the second round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the second round. And there's a really, it's a KPI, yeah, a key performance and a point of time, a critical point of time where Joel does something and the guy acts in a certain way. I'll show you the video now.
Round two.
Touch him, Joe. Touch him. Be patient, Joe. Be patient. I'm in the room when you want this, man. I'm in the room when you want. Keep touching. Keep pitching.
So now this is the part. This is the debatable part. And again, it's up for debatable because it is my opinion versus anybody else's, all right? Is that the guy reacts as if he's been kicked in the private area, or he's been booted in the nether regions, as we should say. But has he? I'm going to show him, because what it looks like is that Joel's foot connects with the guy's thigh. That's where it looks like. Now, up to this point here, the guy had done a few things, like he wasn't interested, he kept sort of turning his head and walking away, which is never a good sign for a fighter. But this was the real point where I looked at him and I thought, you've took this opportunity to back out. I thought this was the point where the guy's spirit broke. I'll show you the slow-mo and you can see why I'm thinking that Joel actually kicked the guy's thigh. So for me there, it wasn't definitely bang centre. It wasn't in the crosshairs, if you will, of his nether regions. No, that didn't look like this. I'm not saying it didn't hurt. But again, my belief, which is an assumption, it is just an assumption of watching the evidence of being there in the night and looking at the other body language that this gentleman was giving off, is that did hurt him. It wasn't on his ballsack, but he took the opportunity to try and get out. At that particular moment there, he lost the will to live. He lost the will to fight. Now this is really interesting from when we talk about thinking, feeling and acting, okay? Because when you are motivated, when you are angry, it sets off different hormones. And you'll have had this, I just want you to reflect on this now with some past experiences from you. When you give up, you feel like you've given up. That adrenaline stops being produced. Demotivation kicks in, lethargy kicks in. You are dismissive of the entire event that you're meant to be taking part in. And we've all give up before, so we all know the feeling that I'm talking about. Because when you think and feel in a certain way, you get the behaviour, as I said before. At that particular critical moment, Joel wellied the bloke with such force that this guy thought, I've had enough. This is just my belief. This is just my belief of 15 years of, performance psychology. 15 years of talking to people about what motivates them, but also what makes them quit. 15 years of watching body language, sitting for thousands of hours in front of people, just watching them. Are they telling the truth or not? Should I dive in that a little bit deeper? Because biology does not lie. And what we've got here is a situation where Joel kicked the guy. Admittedly, he's a big chap, Joel. Bang, he put that leg into him. That would have hurt the average person. Probably would have hurt me. Especially since I'm lacking my six-pack at the moment because I'm not in fighting state. But the point that I'm trying to get at is then he went on to, and this went on for a good couple of minutes, rolling about, shaking his head. But what's really interesting, and I'll show you the video soon, is that if someone kicked me in the nuts, I'd be angry. Yes, it would hurt. Yes, I'd go down. But if I wanted to fight, I'd be so angry at the guy for limiting my opportunity, for cheating, if you will. I'd be fucking raging that someone's trying to get an edge on me. But what you see here is very submissive behaviours. It's very negative behaviours. He's almost holding his balls too much. I'd be climbing at the cage and stomping around and, really in pain. But it's all dismissive behaviours. It's all submissive behaviours that this guy doesn't want to be there. I mean, for me, it is so obvious that his spirit is being crushed. Joel has taken him lock, stock and barrel apart, mentally, spiritually, physically. He's over there. What we found was really funny, this video that I'll show you, is that when he's lying on the floor, his missus was going absolutely nuclear. She was banging on the cage, and she couldn't believe her partner, husband, whatever he is, was losing. But when he was holding his nutsack, he was lying around. I spun round and sort of got it on the big stage. She's devastated. She's absolutely devastated. She's almost thinking, there's my opportunity for kids gone. Thanks very much, JOEL JMX. But then this continues with the nutsack. The referee is saying, come on, what you doing? I'm even getting vocal now. Yeah, you can hear me in the background. Remember, the sort of microphone's in front of me, so it shouldn't be picking up my voice, but it is. Because I want to get across to Joel. His team's all saying, be patient. Take your time. I'm like, brothers, there is the most physical evidence in front of you that this guy has quit. He has had enough. Do not let him off the hook. Do not be patient. Go in there and absolutely slam him. Do not give him one glimmer of hope that could change the ways he's thinking to re-motivate himself and come back against your fighter. Do him now is what I'm trying to get across.
Joel, he's mentally quit. He's already quit. He's already quit.
And you see on this part here, what I'm doing is that throughout the fight, throughout the rounds that they've actually fought, is the guy does not like getting kicked. That's what is actually disabling his thoughts. That's what is rearranging his thought patterns into a negative one, into a helpless one, into I just want to quit one. So I'm encouraging Joel to give him one more kick. And you see he goes in with a punch and then he kicks him and the guy walks away. He doesn't want to know.
Ref, he's quit. Just give another kick. Go on. left, your right, Joel, that's your left. Oh! He's gone, he's gone! He's gone, go on!
Joel then hits him, he goes to the ground, he starts pounding, and then, admittedly, I always try and stay balanced, but because I've seen Joel's story, because I've seen some of the, the stuff that he's been through, and he was one of the people that I wanted to connect with, I do get a little bit passionate, but I make no excuses for that, so you might hear me shouting a little bit behind the camera here. So Joel won his MMA fight. It was great. And props should be given to both fighters. And I always say this, as long as both fighters are healthy, they put their health on the line for our entertainment. Anybody who steps through that cage, it's a different space, it's a different mental environment, deserves to be applauded, win, lose or draw. And that goes for every single fighter out there. And it was great. After the fight, I managed to catch up with Joel, who was just standing behind the block where all his friends were. And I was talking to some of the Sidemen. I can't remember which one it was, and I'm going to do a video on meeting those guys. Really, really nice bunch of gentlemen. Really nice bunch of gentlemen. But they had offered that they had come along to support their friend Joel, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. Very humbling when you get, people to come and support you, especially when people have got to travel that distance. So Joel come around their block, he was very kindly getting photographs of people, and I took my photograph here with Joel, and he offered, hey, it was me who shouted, that guy's quick, you need to do. He's like, yes, I heard it, that was fantastic. And he also said to Joel, look, this is what I do. I do performance psychology, mental health and well-being. Travel all over the world doing it. I'm trying to do it on this channel. Would you be up for meeting up and having a chat? Maybe it's on video, you can put it on your channel, whatever. Just about the story that you've gone through. Because what I saw in that video, it will not be dissimilar to what maybe hundreds of thousands of other people go through, especially at school, which is the years where it's so important to have that support network, to learn how to think, feel and act that little bit better, to be more in control of your thoughts and feelings. He said, yes, Bruce, I would be. He followed me on Instagram, thank you. So I will drop him a message and hopefully he'll get back to us, because I think he's got a fascinating story that other people could benefit from, but also that they could be inspired from, to come from situations like that and to be sitting on top of the cage on a Saturday night in Newcastle reaping the rewards of his hard work. So if you've liked this video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. My body language stuff, Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, is in the link. My Prince Andrew body language analysis, did he lie or not, is in the link as well. My KSI Logan Paul, the one that went viral, remember I only had 23 subscribers 3 months ago, yeah, that is in the link as well. But remember, the whole purpose of Believing Bruce is to help you be more in control of your thoughts and feelings so you can be a better version of yourself. Believe in Bruce, remember to be kind to yourself and each other.